Oh, I'm an idiot. I need the password and the ID. Duh. Alright, so how about we go here? Oh, come on. Please tell me I have the answer. I know the answer. No! Oh, wait. Oh, wait. I can do this. I can prove it wasn't a murder. Here we go. Prove it wasn't a murder. Okay. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Oh, what? Those infected by Radical 6 eventually develop a powerful urge to commit suicide. Right. Suddenly, Clover moved. I leapt forward and clamped my hand around her wrist.
What are you doing?
Clover, listen to me. Alice wasn't killed. Nobody murdered her. She took her own life.
What? No. No. There's no way she'd do that.
It's true. She stabbed herself in the heart with a scalpel.
All right. Where'd she get the scalpel then?
Well?
I did hear someone come into the infirmary right after the AB game ended.
Was that before I showed up?
Yes. I got up to see who it was, but they were already gone. It could have been Alice.
So she could have taken the scalpel then?
Yes, I think so.
You're lying. This is all a lie. It has to be.
It's not. It's the truth.
Then why did she do it? Why would Alice kill herself?
She probably didn't have a reason.
What?
She'd been infected with Radical 6. That's what killed her.
You just said she killed herself. Just tell me the truth.
I am.
Then prove it. Your 10 seconds ran out a long time ago. So if you don't have any proof...
I do. I have proof. There was a journal in the lab, wasn't there, Kay? Show it to me.
Journal?
It would have been in the safe.
Oh, well, Alice would have it then.
Fi, can you... I don't feel right touching a dead woman's body. Could you take a look?
Sure.
Her hands barely shook as she quickly searched through Alice's clothing. It was only seconds before she stopped, mainly because she doesn't have anywhere to put these things. Slowly and carefully she drew something out. There it was, the journal. Fi handed it to me, but I shook my head. You read it. It's in Latin. I can't make heads or tails of it. She cocked an eyebrow at me and flipped the small book open. When she looked back up at me, it was with both suspicion and surprise.
Yeah, it is Latin. But translating this is impossible. It's full of words I've never heard before. Huh?
Page 206. Tain. Turn to page 216. You should be able to read that one. Fi's frown deepened, but she did as I suggested. I watched her eyes quickly scan the page before looking up at me with renewed suspicion.
Yeah, I can read this page. How did you know? No, wait. How did you even know there was a journal in the lab?
I won't tell. I just knew.
You just knew? Come on.
Look, just read it, okay? Clover wants to hear what it has to say. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Give me a moment to look it over.
After a few moments of whispering to herself in Latin, Fi began to translate, paraphrasing the contents of the journal. Radical 6 reduces the processing speed of brain by a factor of root of 1/6. Yes, yes, yes. Everyone is dead.
Oh Lord, please. Let their future be a bright one.
Fi shut the journal with a soft slap. So there you have it. Them's the facts. A sickly silence drifted in through the room. A newspaper article, the recording, the conversation with Tenmyouji, and now this journal entry. There was no more hiding from the truth. The pandemic had already happened. All of Clover's rage suddenly dissipated, and she collapsed to the floor, tears pouring down her face. None of us had the heart to say anything, and for several moments the only sound in the room was Clover's sobs. I'm sorry, Clover, but There you go.
We've got a problem. It's almost time for the primary doors to open.
Oh my gosh. Wait. Oh yeah, 10 minutes left.
Sorry, but I'll be taking Alice's bracelet. Vi and I won't be able to open the secondary door without it.
So she was a magenta pear, just like me.
Just now noticed that, did ya?
As he spoke, Dio grabbed the bracelet off the floor and dropped it into his pocket.
What color is your bracelet, Luna?
I'm a cyan pear.
You are part of Clover's pair, then. That means the two of you will need to come with me.
I guess so. Come on now, Clover. We need to go. Alice would want you to survive, wouldn't she? You'll never be able to figure out why all this happened if you stay here. Please.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
You're right. Alice, I promise I'll find out what happened to you. I'll figure out who Zero really is. I mean, if you'd never been locked up in here, so it's like Zero killed you. I promise. I'll avenge you.
Clover stood up and rubbed her hands roughly over her eyes, smearing tears across her cheeks. Then with a determined frown, she strode out of the room.
Alright, we're out of time. Move, people.
You guys head on down to the Floor B warehouse. We'll catch up with you later.
Oh, right. Quark's got the yellow bracelet, which makes him your partner, right?
Yeah, can't exactly leave him behind.
Without him, we'd end up stuck in the AB room. Alright, let's go. We'll see the rest of you once we picked up Quark.
Very well. Until we meet again.
Wait, so... Luna, Clover, and Kay. Dio, Phi, and Alice. So that leaves me with Tenmyouji, Quark, and me.
Quark,
Oh, you're awake.
you're awake!
Yeah, I just woke up.
I have not heard your voice in so long, child.
Hey, where's everybody else?
Oh god. Quark.
Tenmyouji's entire body shook with emotion as he drew closer to him. He cautiously laid a trembling hand on the boy's shoulder, almost as if he was afraid Quark would disappear in a puff of smoke the moment he was touched. When Quark proved to indeed be incorporeal, Tenmyouji let out a cry and threw his arms around him.
What's wrong? Are you okay, Grandpa?
It's nothing. Nothing's wrong. I'm fine.
But
Quark gave him a puzzled look. Tenmyouji didn't even notice. His face was a mixture of happiness and relief, and I could see tears twinkling from the wrinkled corners of his eyes. All traces of his usual gruff stoicism had vanished. I didn't want to interrupt such a happy reunion, but we were running out of time. Still, Tenmyouji deserved a few minutes. I left them alone. At last, Tenmyouji seemed to recover, and shifted from an embrace to a protective arm around the shoulder.
So, how are you feeling?
feeling? Well, okay, I guess. Was I sick or something?
No. You're not sick. If you feel fine, then you're fine.
Huh?
I'm sorry. I should never have gotten you involved in all this.
What are you apologizing for?
Sorry.
You're doing it again. Are you sure you're okay?
No, he's never okay. Tenmyouji's been through a lot.
So, where's everybody else? Mr. Sigma's here, but he's just been standing there looking kinda silly.
I gave him a nervous smile and explained about the white doors. I got the feeling Tenmyouji didn't want Quark to know about Radical 6, so I avoided any mention of it. Alice's death was something I also left for later.
Okay, that makes sense. That means I'm on a team with you guys, right?
Right.
So, these white doors, when are they gonna open?
Oh, wait. Is that... Are we really on the white doors? Well, we got about 4 minutes until the primary doors open.
Oh, that's not good. We need to hurry. Come on. How do we get to the Floor B warehouse?
Okay, we're going.
Follow me. Follow me, my team. Oh, I'm so glad. Quark's actually awake and conscious.
Chromatic 5.
You're late.
Shut it.
Where the hell have you been? Quark?
You're awake!
And fully recovered, apparently.
I am also relieved to see you well again.
Thanks, Kay. Who's also me.
Me too.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
I looked at the others from behind Quark and held a warning finger up to my lips. There were a few momentary raised eyebrows and some nervous coughing as everybody suddenly fell silent.
Huh?
From Quark's perspective, it must have seemed especially odd.
Anyway, there isn't any time left. We need to hurry!
But there are 3 doors.
Which team's going which door?
All of the doors are identical for this round. I believe it doesn't matter which team uses which door.
Then we're taking the one in the middle.
Why that one?
You want a kill shot, you aim for the center.
Uh-huh.
You're more likely to just miss the extremities.
That logic is flawed and more than slightly disturbing. Unfortunately, I don't really have a counter-argument, so center door it is.
I suppose we could go with the one on the left.
So we will take the one on the right. So that means Luna. Can I look at the map really fast? Okay, so that means yes, you would be going to the security room. You would be going to whatever this room is, and that means I would be going to this room right here. Whatever. No, this is the director's office. We're going to the director's office.
Is that okay? I mean, we could go with the other one if you want.
Kay and Clover only nodded.
Well, there's only one left.
The door on the right.
Any objections? All
Nope.
right, let's move.
30 seconds.
Hurry it up, Phi. This thing's gonna close.
We have 30 seconds.
I know.
It's time we were going as well.
Right.
Sure.
We actually survived, and we might get the star keys. Come on, guys. There's no time to waste.
Right behind you.
Let's go.
2, 1, 0. Chromatic.
Oh my gosh, this is the first time this has actually happened. We got through the white door. We're advancing. This is a really big deal to me. It's like an insanely big deal to me. You guys don't understand. Oh, hi, Balloon. Hello, you. What's this place?
Probably the office of whoever it is that's running this place.
It said director's office on the door.
So this might be Zero Senior's office.
Maybe. Or maybe not.
Well, which is it?
Why the hell would I know?
We should look around. If this really is Zero Senior's room, there might be some clues.
Yeah, you got a point, kid. Let's get started. Oh, I am so happy. We've actually advanced. Look, look, I've unlocked more things. So that means once I get done with this, I can start on the other door. Okay, so I'm going to skip the entire room here, but I'm going to show this one scene because it's important for the rest of the video. And you'll see why in a second. Well, maybe if we dress Quark up like a girl. No, no way. Why don't you dress up then? No. Just thinking about it, that is making me want to puke. Besides, do you see a wig or makeup or anything around here? How would any of us dress up like a woman anyway? Dude, you totally want to do it. No, I don't. Quark. It's okay. Hey, wait a minute. Maybe. What is it? Did you have an idea? Well, it can't hurt to try. Yeah, definitely worth the shot. How long has he had that in his pocket? Looks like a piece of paper. No, it's a picture. Oh yeah, I remember him looking at that in the infirmary. Huh. Ooh. But there's something else in there that we need to stay open. Whoa. Oh my gosh, it's like we're in the villain's secret lair. Huh. Didn't think that would happen. Guess the recognition worked. Yeah. Well, now I want to figure out what the picture is. So, who is this girl? Hey, stop! Excuse me? Tenmyouji? Why do you have a picture of a small Akane Kurashiki? Is she your granddaughter? No. Well, who is she then? Damn it, fine, you've already seen her after all. Her name is Akane Kurashiki. Why do you have a picture of Akane? I've been looking for her for a long time. Why? Because she's his first love. Is that Junpei? No, you got it wrong. But you carry that picture everywhere. I don't think I've ever seen you leave it somewhere. And when you don't think anyone's watching, you talk to it. I've seen you do it. Huh. Didn't mark you for a hopeless romantic, Tenmyouji. Look, it's not about love. I'm not goddamn romantic. Okay, you don't want to talk about her. I get it. Is it Junpei? No, there's no way it's Junpei. He's so old. Hey, did you remember to grab your picture? Don't forget your picture, my dude. I hope he grabbed the picture. I don't want him to forget that.
No!
What?
Damn it!
What's wrong?
I left something in the director's office.
I knew it.
What was it?
The picture. Ugh, how could I forget it?
Oh yeah, we must have set it down after using the face recognition thing.
Yeah, I'm going back. You two go on ahead to the warehouse.
I want to come with you.
Me too.
Nah, that's fine. Why don't you head back to the warehouse, Sigma? The others are probably already waiting.
Alright, I'll see you later then.
Right.
Bye, Mr. Sigma.
See ya, tiny quark. I watched them jog off toward the blue door. And then they were gone. I guess I should be getting back then. Wait. Okay, let's think about this. Because Clover said she had one person she trusted, and she said Tenmyouji, but she wouldn't say why. That makes sense as to why. Because she knows him as Junpei. But then, why is Clover young and him so old? It doesn't make any sense. There's no way it's Junpei. There's no way it's Junpei. I stepped into the warehouse to find the other teams already there. Kay and Luna, Fi and Clover, and Dio. The moment Dio spotted me, he dashed over to the rightmost AB room and slid his card through the reader. Wow, he didn't do it until I got there. Good job. Although Tenmyouji's still not there.
An ambit 40.
As he turned to look at me, I swore I saw a flash of a smug grin.
There. Happy? This time I waited for you to get back before I opened it.
Thank you.
You see? I can be considerate.
Yeah, when it serves your own selfish agenda, you prick. But Tenmyouji and Quark aren't here.
Yeah, where are they?
I guess they forgot something in the room we found. They ran back to grab it real quick.
And they'll be here in a few minutes. No big deal.
3 hours later, where are they? While we waited, we exchanged information about the rooms we investigated. Unfortunately, none of it seemed very useful. None of us has found anything, and we were no closer to unraveling any of the increasing number of mysteries we were faced with. With that discussion exhausted, we sat down to wait. Before long, 20 minutes passed since Dio opened the door and Tenmyouji and Quark were nowhere in sight.
Don't you think they're taking a little long?
Yes, I'm getting worried.
Everyone should be here, right? Let's see. Fi and Luna are here, Kay's here, Dio's here, and Clover's here, so we're all here.
What if something happened to them?
I'll go have a look.
Then I shall accompany you.
Thank you, Kay. Nah, I'll be fine by myself. It's not that far away.
Just don't look into the abyss too long, or you might become a monster.
What? I don't think... Okay. Look, I'm just gonna go to the director's office. I'll be right back. No big deal. Right, see you guys later. I gave a quick goodbye wave and stepped out of the warehouse. Something bad's gonna happen. Oh, wow. Please be okay. Please be okay. Please be... Quark, please tell me you didn't go crazy and kill him. Or kill yourself. Oh, that's probably what happened. Wait, are they not even here? The picture's gone. Huh? That's odd. There's nobody here. The picture's gone, though. Tenmyouji and Quark must have been here, then. I laid out the floor B map. Huh. Well, there's really no... Well, they could have gone left and gone to the... Not the security office, but whatever that third room is. They must have taken the door that faces the warehouse. After that, they probably went through the warehouse and out the blue door to the elevator. Yeah, that's a much shorter route. On the other hand, I came through the red door, which is kind of a long way around. Looks like we managed to miss each other perfectly. Ugh, well, this is a huge waste of time. Might as well head back, I suppose. I had packed up the map and was headed toward the door when... Huh? There was a light on where there hadn't been light before. Oh, what? I completely forgot about that thing. Why is that thing on? We messed with it earlier, but nothing seemed to work. I felt a sudden wave of inexplicable, nauseating dread. The light stared at me. I swallowed and edged cautiously toward it. The machine was in arm's reach now. I stretched my hand out toward it slowly. Slowly...
So, you finally made it.
Who are you? No, you're...
I am Zero.
Hello?
I was the one who brought you here. You undoubtedly have as many questions for me as there are stars in the sky. As you can see, however, this is only a recording. I will therefore be unable to directly answer any questions. Ask if you wish, but I cannot respond.
I considered taking a swing at him, but decided that was spectacularly futile, and kept my balled fist at my side.
Now, where to begin? There are many things I wish to tell you, but unfortunately, our time is limited.
Is he wearing a bracelet?
As such, the information I can provide is also limited. I have chosen two things of great importance to tell you.
Okay, tell me.
First, I will tell you about termites.
What? First snails, now termites?
In retrospect, I suppose that's a rather odd thing to say. I imagine you look rather bewildered right now.
No, what? No, I don't look...
Perfectly understandable. The person who kidnapped you and threatened you with death is lecturing you about insects. I suspect it hardly seems fair. Nonetheless, this is very important. In a way, it will determine your fate.
Okay.
So I ask that you listen carefully. Have you ever seen a termite mound?
No. What? No.
They are splendid structures. Some might even call them works of art. Termites are natural architects, and their mounds are both structurally sound and make excellent use of space. So, are they following some sort of plan as they build? Are there termite blueprints detailing which room goes where? No, of course not. Each termite is simply an oblivious cog in a tremendous machine programmed by millions of years of termite DNA. It is doubtful an individual termite has any idea what its contributions are helping to create. But a human does. appreciate the elegant forms of their alien cathedrals. We can see the simple beauty of their perfect functionality. We can understand the splendid planning of their structure. In other words, only an intelligence of a higher order can understand the beauty of what the termite builds.
Okay, what's the point of telling me this?
Now, consider humans. Why are we alive? Why do we love and give birth? Why do we create? From where do our cultures spring? There are many theories, but no one knows the truth. We are oblivious cogs in a tremendous machine programmed by millions of years of human DNA.
I see what you're getting at now.
No doubt you see now what this analogy is supposed to illustrate. Yes, I mean to say humans are not different from termites. We trudge through our lives with no greater understanding of our ultimate goal. You might say we don't understand what we're building. Only an intelligence of a higher order than ours can understand what we're doing. Imagine how we might look to such an intelligence. We may be building some structure so perfect and elegant, we can't even perceive it. Whatever it is, we've likely been building it on a dimension just above the ones we know since time immemorial.
Huh.
If we are like the termites, then what we've created is almost certainly something of tremendous beauty. And you are about to catch a glimpse of it.
What?
Or have you already?
What?
Well, that's enough on that subject, I think. Consider what I've said.
What do you... Wait, I'm about to catch a glimpse of it?
Now, let's move on to the second topic. It is somewhat more immediately meaningful to your life, and, in fact, the lives of several billion other people. I realize this is rather sudden, but I have a password for you.
Here we go. This is what I've been waiting for my entire life.
It is the password to disarm the bomb, numbered 1.
Wait, number 1? But Phi was demanding Dio give her the password to deactivate the 0 bomb. What? I don't understand. But okay, number 1 bomb.
Are you ready?
Yes, sure.
I will only say this once, so pay close attention. The password to disarm the number 1 bomb is BQZ RGJ DXR.
So there are 2 bombs. I had no idea what he was talking about. What bomb? Was he saying there were bombs too? If he'd guessed at my future confusion, he showed no sign of it.
That is the last of the information this message was meant to convey. Before I go, however, I have a warning. You cannot tell any of your companions what you heard or saw here. If you do, you will be penalized immediately.
How?
I hope we will meet again someday. We would have much to discuss.
Wait. God, you can't just spout that shit and disappear. I found myself yelling at empty air. The hologram had disappeared. Ugh. What kind of an idiot does he take me for? Termites? Other dimensions? How could that have anything to do with kidnapping us? Ah. I kicked out at a nearby shelf.
10 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Right.
All, if no...
Ah, crap. I need to get back. I don't think there's any point staying here. I spun around and ran out of the room toward the warehouse.
Grandpa! Look! Mr. Sigma's back!
Took you long enough.
Shut it. Where are the others?
In the AB rooms.
They went in already? Why didn't you two... Have you been waiting here for me?
Yeah! Grandpa said there was something he had to tell you before we voted, no matter what.
Okay. Oh?
Nothing that significant. Just wanted to tell you we're going to choose ally this round. That's it.
And you had to tell me that no matter what? Seemed kind of pointless. I mean, words are cheap. You can promise whatever you want.
True, but we've got something to back it up. Just hear me out.
Okay, go ahead.
Quark and I both have 8 BP. We're already on the home stretch. So what do we need to get to the magic number?
You only need 1 point.
Well, we need you to choose ally. If you do that, it doesn't really matter to us what we pick.
You'd get to 9 whether you got 2 or 3 points.
Exactly. That being the case, we don't have any reason to betray you. And if we both choose ally, we both gain points.
Yeah, but also we can play as much as we want, so this is... Can we all get out of here at this point, please? True, but you must have considered that I'll choose Betray. That would mean you choose Betray to protect yourselves.
But that's why we're telling you we won't choose Betray.
Mm-hmm.
Can I trust you?
Of course.
If I operate under the theory that you're Junpei, then I think I can trust you? Alright, tell me one thing. Let's say we do this in both ally. Everyone gets 2 points. That means you and Quark will have enough to leave, which is great for you, but I'll be stuck with a measly 5. How do I know you aren't going to just open the number 9 door and leave us in the lurch?
I can guarantee it.
How?
I can give you my word. I will not open the number 9 door, even if I have enough points to do so. I swear it.
But you did not say anything about Quark.
We aren't going to abandon everybody else just so we can escape.
I swear too.
Thank you,
I
Quark.
promise.
Man, so all you got is a promise,
When
huh?
I make a promise, I keep it. Trust me.
Please! You've got to trust us!
Sure, let's do it. Alright, fine. I'll trust you.
2 minutes remain.
We're counting on you, Sigma.
You gotta choose ally! You promised!
I mean, what good would it do for you to overshoot by 2 points? With that, they turned it around to the AB room second from the right. Well, I guess I should get moving. See, because I know that he'll probably do that just so we can get Quark out of here, but then he would just be dooming everyone. This is a home stretch where we're all, like, at a pretty good time to get out. At least I think. I can't remember how many points everyone else has.
1 minute.
It's been a while since I've been in this timeline. I had a decision to make. Should I trust Quark and Tenmyouji? Well, I could believe what they were telling the truth and still betray them. That'd bring my BP to 6, but you would still not be able to get out of here. Choosing Betrayal would guarantee that they wouldn't try to escape without the rest of us. Betrayal seemed like a safe bet, but...
Please! You've gotta trust us! You've gotta choose ally! You promised!
Tenmyouji I could betray easily enough, but Quark, what the hell was I gonna do? I hate my good nature.
Round 3. Result. Thank you. Ambidex. Result, please.
Alright. Yep. Uh-huh. Well, Dio, I knew immediately was not going to get out. Interesting that Kay got betrayed. Oh, now Clover, Tenmyouji, and Quark gonna get out.
Points, please.
Hey, what the hell? It's not like I didn't expect this.
Quark had nothing to do with this. I made the vote.
Grandpa.
Alright, fine. Why'd you break your promise, Tenmyouji?
I only promised you one thing. We wouldn't open the number 9 door, even if we got 9 points.
What? So you're not gonna leave?
Not what I said. Of course we're going to leave.
What?
Look, see Clover over there?
What? Don't tell me... So you wouldn't open the door, but now you oh my god.
Oh no.
She's...
That bitch!
Wait. Quark and Tenmyouji have...
The words were barely out of her mouth when Tenmyouji and Quark ran past.
So, god damn it!
And yet they're gonna let them escape. No, no one's gonna stop... Everyone's gonna stop me when I try.
Clover, are you really going to leave?
Well, yeah. Why else would I open the door?
But why?
I'm going to go call the others, so we can capture Zero Senior.
Okay, good.
Tenmyouji, are you and Quark going too?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Sorry, everybody.
So Sigma, happy? I kept my promise. Clover opened the door, not me.
Like hell I'm happy. That's some shady shit,
Say
Tenmyouji.
so. I have to get out of here, and that's that. He's got to pay for what he's done.
He?
Zero.
You mean you know who Zero Senior is?
Yeah. No point keeping it a secret now, I suppose.
Who is it?
I know exactly who Zero Senior is.
Who?
What?
You gonna tell me?
The number it will.
Let's go! Come on, guys! Time to move!
Right.
Oh, wait! This is for you, Mr. Sigma.
What? Quark held something out. I looked down to see 2 pieces of folded paper. What is this?
It's a letter. I wrote it in the director's office before the AB game.
Okay.
I wanted to tell you what kind of guy Grandpa is. So, read it, okay?
He pressed it into my hand.
See you later, Mr. Sigma.
Then he turned and ran toward the door, Tenmyouji and Clover following in his footsteps. I was so surprised by the letter I didn't even try to stop them, because of course you didn't. Before I could think of anything to say.
See you.
Goodbye.
But you didn't tell me who Zero was! Oh, no point in keeping it a secret, but obviously you're not going to tell me. Well, let's read the letter.
The number this. Thank you. As the escape, please.
Shit! They're gone.
All we can do now is hope they bring help back.
Indeed.
I agree.
I looked down at Quark's letter and slowly unfolded it. His handwriting was still slightly uneven, but he'd filled both pages with writing. I began to read. It was a really stormy day when he found me. He said the rain was coming down so hard it almost hurt, but somehow he managed to hear a baby crying. I guess I must have been crying pretty loud. He took me home and did his best to raise me, but he'd never been married or had a kid before, so I think it was really hard for him. He couldn't figure out how to mix the formula, so he's always carrying the directions around with him. And also, I guess he was a pretty picky eater, or I guess I was a pretty picky eater, so if he didn't get the water to formula ratio just right, I wouldn't eat it. I guess it was kind of a pain, huh? But he didn't give up, and now here I am. When he found me, I was really, really small, and he was worried that I might not make it. That's why he named me Quark. A quark is a really, really small thing, and I was really, really small too. Grandpa didn't need to be worried, though, because it turned out that I was pretty tough. When I was 1, he forgot I was sleeping in the bed of his truck and drove off. I rolled out and went off the back, but I didn't even get scratched, but that's still really dangerous. I started walking when I was 2, but when he wasn't looking, I fell down the stairs. I didn't get hurt then either. When I was 3, I got really sick. I had a super high fever for a week, but eventually I got better. I guess you could say I'm pretty lucky. Anyway, I didn't really have any more accidents after that, and I was a pretty healthy kid. By the time I was 6, I'd started helping Grandpa out with his work. His job was to gather junk from abandoned buildings. Then he'd fix it up or pull out the useful parts and sell them. There were plenty of abandoned buildings, but finding good stuff in them was really hard. He had to know which parts were useful, or he could end up wasting a bunch of time. Every time I'd find something, he'd explain to me what it was, how it was supposed to work, how to fix it, all sorts of things. Usually, though, I just wanted to finish up work so I could go to the theater. Theater came to our town once a week in a wagon. They'd show old news or movies. I went every single week, but Grandpa only went there once in a while, and he'd only go weeks when they showed movies. Oh yeah, I didn't know that I'd been adopted until I was 7. One of the other kids on my block told me. I guess after Grandpa found me, he looked all over town to try to find someone who'd take me. The kid from my block actually had a mom, and he asked her if she would take me too. I gotta admit, I was pretty shocked when I heard that. There weren't a lot of kids with parents around, so hearing that someone lived with his actual mom was pretty impressive. I was also kind of surprised that Grandpa had tried to get someone else to take me. Did he mean that he didn't want me? The kid who told me about Grandpa trying to get rid of me was a real jerk. He was totally spoiled, and he'd brag to everyone about how he had a mom. He liked to come up to me while I was working and say stuff like, "Must be hard not having a mom." It never bothered me before, but after I found out that Grandpa had adopted me, I started to think that maybe he didn't really want me. If I could work on my own, then he could try to get rid of me. I was scared to know the truth, so I never asked him. Then one day he took me to a bar in our neighborhood. During the day, of course. He went there sometimes to drink scotch, but I'd never gone there before. When he got in, he just walked up to the counter with that grumpy look he has, and I thought, oh no, he's gonna make me work here. But I was wrong. I saw him pass something to the bartender, and then he picked me up and set me down on the bar stool next to the counter. The stool was pretty high, especially for a 7-year-old kid. My legs just dangled off of it. It seemed really, really high to me, and I was pretty nervous. Eventually, the bartender came back over with a glass of scotch and another big glass full of something else. A root beer float. As I looked closer, I realized that the second glass was full of some sort of brown liquid with a scoop of ice cream in it. It took me a minute to realize what it was. A root beer float. I'd never seen one before. I was so surprised. Root beer was even more expensive than the nicest alcohol in the bar. To me and the other kids, it seemed more like an urban legend than a real drink. Man, that sucks. I drink root beer all the time. So people thinking it's like a legend is weird. But there it was, right in front of me. I stared at the float. I still wasn't sure it was real at that point, and then turned to look at Grandpa. He looked back at me. I didn't know what to do, so I turned to the bartender. He'd already turned around and moved off, though, so I figured he must have put the glass down in front of me on purpose. It still didn't seem like it could be real, so I was just staring at it when Grandpa told me to hurry up and drink it before the ice cream melted. His gruff voice sounded like an angel's. Is this really mine? He nodded. Words can't describe how awesome it was. I'd never tasted anything like root beer before. The creamy sweetness of the ice cream made my entire head feel light. I felt like the luckiest boy in the whole world. That's not an exaggeration, I really thought that. The root beer float was delicious, but what made me even happier was Grandpa. When I looked over at him, he was smiling. I know that's gotta be hard for you to imagine, but he really was. Right then, I didn't care whether he'd just found me and adopted me or not. He'd bought me a root beer float. That made me way luckier than some kid who had a mother that had never tasted root beer. Of course, after we left the bar, he was the first kid I bragged to. So Grandpa and I were doing pretty good. Until the fight. I was in a super bad mood that day. I'd torn one of my shoes that morning and some old drunk guy had yelled at me. All the junk I found was totally useless. That day was almost over and I was fed up, so I just grabbed some random trash and took it back to the house. When I showed what I'd found to Grandpa, he frowned. He started going through each thing I'd brought back, explaining why they were all useless. And wait, is this what I think it is? Hold on. Yes, Bluebird Lamentation, I love this song. He got really mad and just yelled, "I don't care." Then he got mad and I couldn't take it anymore, so I ran away. I was pretty upset and I started thinking that maybe Grandpa had only adopted me so he could raise me to work and make money for him. After a while, I went and hid in an abandoned building. By then I started to calm down and think that maybe I should go back and apologize. It had started raining pretty hard though, so I decided I should wait for it to stop. But that was just an excuse. The truth was that I was nervous. Part of me knew I did something wrong, but I didn't want to admit it. The rain didn't stop though, so I just sat there staring out at a gloomy gray sky. I imagined Grandpa coming to get me. It kept raining all night, and he never showed up. I gave up waiting and decided it was time to go home. I was about halfway there when I heard somebody groaning. At first I thought I should just ignore it and not get involved, but I went over anyway, and it was Grandpa. He was totally soaked, and I could tell right away that he'd been there for a really long time. I yelled, and he opened his eyes a little bit. He smiled and said that he was glad I was safe. He'd spent all night out in the rain looking for me. I felt awful. Grandpa had been out in the rain looking for me for so long that he'd collapsed. I was horrible. He'd heard me crying in the rain, but I hadn't heard him. As I ran to get the doctor, I promised whatever god might be listening that if they would only save Grandpa, I'd never ask for another Rupert float ever again. He got a real bad fever and his temperature wouldn't go down for days. The doctor said that if it kept up, he'd die. If he died, then I'd be all alone. There wouldn't be anybody left to care about me. The thought of that happening terrified me. Fortunately, I must have passed some of my luck on to Grandpa, because a week later his fever finally broke. I was glad he wasn't going to die, but I was also a little scared. What if he had decided he didn't want a stupid kid like me around anymore? My plan was to apologize as soon as he woke up, but when the moment came, my brain just stopped. Grandpa started to talk, and it took me to realize he was apologizing. I didn't know what to think. He explained that he was an old man, and that meant he was probably going to die sooner rather than later. He was strict with me because he wanted to make sure I'd be able to make it on my own after he was gone, but maybe he'd been a little too strict. All of the things I'd worried about had been stupid and selfish. Grandpa cared about me a whole lot. He'd been worried when I ran off, and he'd gone out into the rain to look for me. I tried to apologize, but when I opened my mouth, I just started crying. I don't think I've cried that much since I was a baby. But he just smiled and patted my head. I asked him if he'd ever regretted adopting me. His eyes got all wide and he said, "Of course not." He told me that he was looking for a really important lady, and because of that he'd had to give up on pretty much everything else in his life. But when he took me in and started raising me, he felt like he'd gotten some of what he lost back. That was when I decided I'd stay with him forever, even if he said I couldn't. Well, now I can see why he'd wanted me to... I can see why he wanted to get Quark out of there. He's that important to him.